Hi, today's topic is verb to be. Well, in the times we have present, past, and for the both, negative. So in present we have I am. So for example, it's I am happy. For you, we and they, we have are. So for example, it's we are happy. For she, he, and it is is. For example, is she is happy. But now in the past, for I, she, he, and it, we have was. So he was happy. For you, they, and we have were. So for example, they were happy. And now for negatives, for I am or am, we have I am not, but we don't have a contraction. So it, for example, is I am not hungry. For are is are not, and the contraction is aren't. So you aren't hungry. For is, we have is not, and the contraction is isn't. So she isn't hungry. And now for the past, for was, we have was not, and the contraction wasn't. So for example, we have she wasn't hungry. And for were, we have were not, and the contraction is weren't. So for example, we have they weren't hungry. And now we have the questions for verb to be. In present, we have the WH questions. We have the sentence, she is here. So for making it a WH question, we need a WH word, the auxiliary verb for verb to be, the subject, and the main verb. And now we have it. Why is the WH question? Is the auxiliary for verb to be. She is the subject, and here is the main verb. So always we have to use the same here. So WH question plus the auxiliary verb to be plus the subject plus the main verb. And now we have the yes and no questions. We have the sentence, we are leaving. And now we just need to do is put the auxiliary verb for the verb to be at the beginning. Are we leaving? And now we have the answers. Yes, we are. Or no, we aren't. Or we are not. And now we have the past, the WH questions. They were here is the sentence. And we just have to do the same in here, but we need to use the past in the auxiliary verb to be, that here is where. So when is the WH were? Where is the auxiliary verb to be in past? They is the subject, and here is the main verb. And for the yes and no questions, is the same. The sentence is, she was in Punta Arenas. So we need to put the auxiliary in verb to be at the beginning, and then the same. Was she in Punta Arenas? And the answers is yes, she was, or no, she was not. And now our second topic is the verb to have. That it means in Spanish, tener, and it means to possess something. Now we have present and past. So for present, for I, you, they, and we have the verb have. For example, I have a car. And for she, he, and it, we have the verb has. For example, she has a job. And now for past, for I, you, we, they, she, he, and it, we have the verb had. They had a pet. For past. Now for negative, in present, for I, you, they, and we have do not, or the contraction don't. And for she, he, and it, we have does not, and the contraction doesn't. So for example, I do not have a house, for I, and he doesn't have a ruler, for he. And now in the negatives, for the past, for I, you, she, he, we, he, and it, we have did not, and the contraction is didn't. So for example, you didn't have a boyfriend, but we can also say she didn't have a boyfriend, he didn't have a boyfriend, or they didn't have a boyfriend. And now we have the questions for verb to have. So in the present we have WH questions and we have a sentence. You have a pen. So for doing a WH question, we need a WH question. In this case is where, and then we need the auxiliary from verb to have, that is do, then the subject, you, have the verb, and the rest is a pen or your pen. So when we do a WH question, it is where do you have your pen? And now we have yes and no question. So the sentence is they have a cat. So now we need to put an auxiliary for verb to have at the beginning, that in this is do. So do they have a cat, that is the same, just with do at the beginning. And now the answers is yes, they do, or no, they don't. And now for the past, we have WH questions that is in the same form, but now we are using the auxiliary from verb to have in past, that is did. Where did you met him? But it's the same. Where is a WH question. Did is the auxiliary for verb to have. You is the subject and met him is the rest. And now we have yes and no questions. So we have a sentence. She did have a dog. And now we need to use the auxiliary from verb to have at the beginning, and then the rest is the same. Did she have a dog? And now we said yes, she did, or no, she did not. We use have here, and we don't use did because we put it in here. So that's. And now for our third topic, we have simple present. Simple present is used in facts, habits, truth, or feelings. And now we have our positive way and our negative way. In our positive way, we have the verb work. So when we use I, you, we, or they, we can say we work without changing the verb. Or we can say you work, or they work, or I work. But when we use he, she, or it, we say she works, or he works, or it works. We need to change the verb. And it happens too with other verbs, like the verbs that ends in x, ch, o, ss, or sh. We need to put at the end of the verbs an es. So like in this verb, push, it ends in sh. So we said pushes. We need to put this es at the end, just in case that we have a she, he, or it. It happens too with the verbs that ends in y, but before the y we have a vowel. When we have a vowel, we just need to put an s at the end. So we said buy, but when we said she buy, we need to put an s at the end. She buys. And now the verb that ends in a y, but before the y there is a consonant like study, we need to put an ies at the end of the verb. So study in its normal way, and when we use she or he or it, we need to use studies at the end, ies. And now in our negative way, we have I, you, they, and we use do not, or the contraction don't. So for example, we have they don't run in the night. And then we have for she, he, and it does not, or the contraction doesn't. So for example, we have she doesn't run in the night. But this verb, we don't put an s on it because the auxiliary doesn't, it's already in here, so we don't need to change it. So she doesn't run in the night.